I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Here's Johnny.
The name's Bond. James Bond.
Say what again? Say what again? I dare you. I double dare you, motherfuckers.
We in the killing Nazi business. Cousin, business is a boom.
Squad, this here is Private Cage. Private Cage, J Squad.
Isn't that an officer's uniform?
Those sure ain't officer cufflinks.
Well, I just heard the news today. It seems my life is going to change. Cody, would you still be my friend if I fucking sang that like the day my wife had a baby?
This one goes out to you, Slade.
Out to you, buddy.
Oh, it's foaming!
Oh, Black Betty, suck my dick. Oh, Black Betty. I spent the most so far. Actually, second so far on beer.
That song is about, a guy.
What? The Black Betty?
Oh, no, Black Betty is about a man having a child and his life changing.
Black Betty is?
No.
Oh.
The Creed song. And my dad, a nice memory maybe. I used to go hunting with my father in the early years of my life. And I was really into Creed, and I didn't understand what that song was about, and he told me. So it's a nice memory I have. That's honestly, that might be why I like that song.
That is very sweet. I will say I am going to see Creed this Friday, and this is not a meme. This is not a joke. Yeah, Scott Stapp might not be doing the best, okay, guys? But come on. He was the front man for Creed with arms wide open. I'm mildly excited.
I'm seeing the Tanakh, dude, and I'm super pumped about it.
Yeah. Is that this Friday?
No, it's November 10th. But I want to say, so I got those tickets for $50 for like standard. That was like price. Those things are selling. If you want the ticket now, it's like $200, dude. Tickets. The whole like scalping thing, where like people buy tickets and resell, it might be one of the most disgusting things in like modern society. It bothers me so much.
It's pretty shitty.
It's so terrible. Yeah, I bought a $50 ticket, and now because you didn't buy that ticket that day, you have to pay $200. That's not fair.
How would you solve that problem? Because I started thinking, like, what if we required the person with the ID to show up to the event? But then, I mean, it'd fuck up because we'd have people ordering tickets for other people. It'd be all over the place. You know?
Should be able to resell your ticket, like if you had to. But I don't know. Maybe each ticket, maybe like no more than 5 tickets to the same address. So you force.
Ooh, I like that.
You force whatever ticket company to own thousands and thousands of properties. How about that? Suck a dick, you fucking fat fuck.
You fucking public corporate fat cat, dude. I guess, yeah, that's a good idea, dude. 5 tickets to one person, and if you need more, like if you're trying to show your business a good time, do some cocaine, go see Creed. Then give me your tax ID, motherfucker.
Yeah. You need to put your social security number to buy a ticket. How about that?
I'm going to need that soch. And not just the last 4.
Oh, I'm going to need middle. The whole thing. How about that? We'll get you we'll put on a moving billboard downtown, and we'll dare people to hack it. Like that one guy. Who actually got his ID hacked like 20 times, I think. As I checked.
Who did?
The safe lock fucker that had his commercials. He's like, hey, this is my social security number. Try it out.
And he got hacked?
He got hacked like a dozen times.
Oh my god, dude. Could you imagine? He made like $300 for that commercial. And then he's got his
I think he was like the CEO or something of the company.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, I assume he
still got hashtag hacked, dude. Still got hacked.
Hashtag hack. I like it.
What have you been up to, my brother? Well, this is the first time we've been back. We're still shaking off the dust, guys. I mean, we've been getting our summer on. What has it been? A week and a half, 2 weeks?
It's been a little bit longer than what we wanted. It's hard, like, say, people, if you don't know, this podcast actually has like a little bit of effort into it. So it's not just Corey and I just completely bullshitting. Like you kind of think like, oh no, it's just them two. But Corey's schedule is shitty. Then we have to watch a movie if we want to do a movie episode, which takes 2 hours. Plus like pausing or take notes or whatever. And then it's recording it, and then there's editing it, which we don't have a crazy amount of edits.
Is the worst part.
But it's like, yeah, I have to listen to it and try to. Sometimes because Corey and I are recording at different locations, it just makes it a little bit more difficult than what you would expect. So.
We don't have the luxury of living next door to each other. I think that's like the ultimate goal right there. Like once this gets off the road, dude, we should just be neighbors. That would make recording so much easier.
Yeah, it would. Definitely.
But yeah, man, I don't want anybody to like go like what Cody does. He does a lot of fucking editing, shit like that. So I really want to thank people that are still staying on board, and we're getting a lot of positive feedback. We do care a lot about this. It's almost like a second job for both of us. So thank you for everybody for staying strapped in, dude.
Yeah, it's a little bit, yeah, we appreciate it. So that's why we appreciate the iTunes reviews or just like the comments or interaction. Lets it know that people. It brings a joy to my heart to know that people enjoy what we're doing and appreciate it, I guess, and like it. It makes me happy.
Absolutely. I think it's great that we have an artistic outlet, and I think anybody out there that is like wanting to pursue something and kind of get your feet into it, like don't stop for anything. If something makes you happy, then fucking do whatever creative venture you can. And luckily people are fucking jiving with this, and Cody and I have both taken different ventures trying to figure out what we like. But yeah, this is a good time. Cody, what have you been up to lately, my brother?
Lately, not much. I think I talked about I rode my bike recently. I haven't rode my bike since. I think last time we recorded. My knees still kind of like fucked up a little bit.
What'd you do?
I did that. I did that 100-mile bike ride, and
yeah.
I don't know if I just something occurred where my left knee is a little bit jacked. But it's like it doesn't feel bad, but if I sit in one position and then I kind of get up, and if I go down steps maybe, or if I like squat down.
Does it get locked?
Say like I tie my no, it's not locked, but just like a little bit of aches when it stretches. Yeah. So
check for tumors, bro.
I don't think I have any tumors in my knee.
All I'm saying is,
come from a guy that had 6 tumors in his knee.
8 tumors, bro.
8 tumors? Jesus Christ.
8 tumors, dude. I remember, like, when I had to move my leg and run and stuff, I would have to put my knee back together. But my knee is finally back in the fucking saddle. You know what I want to talk about quick?
Was your knee like one of those orbs where, like, you like it's like a really small spiky ball, and then you like would stretch out your knee, and it was like a giant ball, and then you had to like smash it back together and make shakes.
Yeah. I like to think of it more as like
gack. Was your knee a bunch of gack?
My knee was more like gack, and your objective was to keep it as a big like circle ball, but my knee would always squirt out the sides. It was gross as fuck. But yeah, I had to go under the needle, and my problem with my knee, I knew what I had to do, and I knew the tumors were in there for like 6 years. But I didn't want to get the surgery because of how expensive it is. And even with healthcare, my wages are garnished by $200 a month.
Damn, dude.
$225 every fucking month.
Is it worth having a knee that's usable?
Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know.
Do you think it's worth financing a fucking working leg? I'd rather have a wheelchair. I'd rather have a wheelchair and way more pizza rolls. How about that?
Can you get a robot leg?
Zuckerberg, dude. Where the fuck are you at, man? All right, man. I have a few things I want to get to right quick. Our buddy Slade is listening to the podcast. Slade, thank you for listening. I asked him what his favorite movie and beer was. He has not gotten back to me. So, Stay tuned.
So you're dead to us. If you hit up Corey in the next, I think I have Slade's number. I'll hit him like, "What's your fucking movie, bitch?"
I'm currently talking to him. So
we're live. We're live.
We're live, bitch. We'll do it live. But
do it live.
My buddy Rick the Muse. I've been doing drawings of people on Reddit for a long time, and I ran into this guy that he was deemed as someone that submits great pictures. So I did my research and I checked him out. And not only does he submit great pictures to Reddit, Instagram is in love with him, dude. Every few days, people are submitting new drawings of this dude's face. And I, being an artist myself, love drawing his face. I don't know what it is. It's very segmented. It's very, very easy to draw a face. So thank you, Rick. I want to shout out to him. And his favorite movie is The Postman with Kevin Costner. I have not seen that.
I've heard of it, but I think I've heard of it.
I like Kevin Costner, man. He's the bodyguard with Whitney Houston.
I've never celebrated Kevin Costner's catalog. The Kevin Costner catalog. I've never.
The KKK.
Oh shit! In another world.
In another world, the Kevin Costner.
With spelling is slightly different.
So yes, we will look into it, Rick, and his favorite beer is the German beer Slam Dunkel. Are you familiar with that?
Slam Dunkel?
Slam Dunkel.
I've never heard.
It sounds fucking cool. I'm into it.
What are you drinking tonight?
Tonight. I'm drinking Clown Shoes, my man. This is the second most expensive beer I've bought on the podcast so far. I bought a bomber for, I think it was like $12. But
Clown Shoes what?
It is the Undead Party Crasher.
Oh shit! I had that one.
It's pretty good. The thing I noticed about Clown Shoes the most is they have the baddest artwork ever, dude.
They have some dope artwork, yeah.
It's the fucking best. But yeah, very thick, very chocolatey, almondy beer. I love it.
They do a really good double IPA called Space Cake.
Space Cake.
Yeah, and it's really similar to a beer. So Bell's did a Planet series like 2 or 3 years ago, and it was actually around the same time as the Fappening. For whatever reason. Some people.
Oh my god! We'll talk about that when you're done. But continue.
They did the Mars version of that beer. So they did. It actually wasn't based on the planets. It was based on the Gustav Holst opera. If you guys call it opera.
Gustav Holst.
Gustav Holst. It was a musical piece, and he did it based on the planets. He skipped Earth, and then, funny enough, Pluto wasn't discovered at that time. So you have Mars through Neptune, or Uranus is last. Yeah.
Pluto can suck a dick, dude. I don't even know.
Well,
it's anymore.
Pluto was not. Was it? Is Neptune? I can't remember which one's last. Neptune's 8. Okay, so I was right.
Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's how you remember.
Yeah, I think that's how it is. Yeah. So Pluto wasn't a planet, and then he skipped Earth. So, if you've most people have actually heard the Mars piece. If you search it, Gustav Holst Mars, you probably recognize it. It was probably used in some sort of Fantasia, or some like Bugs Bunny piece, I think. But if you were a child that grew up in the 90s, and did you ever watch Fantasia?
I did, dude, and I
never enjoyed it. My mom played it all the time when I was a kid, and I never enjoyed watching it. And I felt like I was basically just trapped in this Fantasia world, stuck watching it for all eternity. And I was like, when will this end? And there's like,
did you have to look at it, or were you allowed to?
I felt fucking like I was like, my mom played it on the VHS. I was like, I better sit down and watch this shit. And I was more interested in the black VHS case, which was kind of uncommon because all the other VHS cases were white.
Really?
I never enjoyed it. I think if I watch it now, I might enjoy it, but because I don't know.
I don't know.
Terrible memories of it. I would go back to reverting to not enjoying it.
It's a very nice background piece, and looking at like the artwork and stuff is fun. But like you said, it's like the Beatles. It's like it starts you really happy and then takes you on a trip, like Dumbo.
Shit, yeah.
I think it's meant to be watched with LSD. I saw it live down in Disney, and that was a fucking good time. It was called Phantasma. Yeah, fuck you, man.
Well, so I'm not sure how we got there, Space Kick to Disney, but I'm drinking Conky Dong 4-Up today. And So Conky Dong, but this is a quadruple dry hopped version of the beer. And I was pretty pumped to get this because this beer's only come out twice, and I missed it the first time. Because this is one of those where you have to buy a ticket to be able to purchase it. And the first time I bought the beer, I missed out. Because it sells out within a minute, and so I got a ticket this time. Caitlin missed out, so but I got some on this most recent one, and I'm drinking one currently for the podcast. Because
fuck yeah, dude!
Shows how much.
This is the first time you've gotten one of those in a while, like one of those rare beers.
I mean, I get just some people a very rare beer often, but this beer. More people missed out on this beer than people that actually got it.
You know what we should do one day? We should find somebody that says... Because I met a lot of people that don't like craft beer. I don't want to scare them away from the podcast.
Bunch of fucking losers!
The fucking losers, dude. Fucking cocksucker. But I want to sit people that hate craft beer down and put an IPA in one glass and a Natty Daddy in the other. And see which they find more repulsive.
I don't know if a IPA would be a great choice, honestly. What is a Natty Daddy? Is that Natty Light?
Oh my god, dude! It's Natty Light with vodka poured into it.
Ugh.
It's not really vodka, but it's so alcoholic. It's 8%, and you can buy 3 of them for like $2. It's so easy to be an alcoholic nowadays. They're literally shrink wrapped together. It's amazing.
Gross.
Same with Bud Ice. Gross.
I've had a lot of Bud Ice, actually.
Really?
Yeah, so my stepdad knew someone that worked at, like, the Bud Light factory, and he would get, like, slightly expired Bud Ice, and so we'd crack open some Bud Ice and just drink that shit. It was still good, but it was, like, past the sell date.
You want to hear something fucking hilarious? So Slade did just get back to me, and he said he is... I'll just read what he says. He said, my favorite beer, you'll just hate me because right now I'm drinking Natty Daddy or
what? No bullshit.
or Dad Churros, as the refined like to say.
What? Dad Churros? Like natural but bad?
He calls it, he said Natty Daddy or Dad Churros. I call them natural Dad Churros, but they're actually Natty Daddy. So that's fucking hilarious.
Oh my god.
But when it comes to Natty Daddy, just imagine like a king cobra.
I got you, yeah.
Slade says his favorite movie would have to be School of Rock. It is genius. He said he knows it's a comedy, but it's genius, and he can watch it in an unlimited amount of time.
How wrong is that movie, though, if you think about from the parent perspective?
Like he's kidnapped.
For a while, like I never realized, like as an adult, you kind of can't. It took me a bit, maybe longer than it should have, but like growing up, like you're a kid, you can be around kids, and then at a certain point, you're like, oh, you're an adult male, you can't be around children, or else people are just gonna look at you like, what are you doing around children? How old are you? Like, I've read stories on Reddit. People are like, I was with my daughter at the park, and people are like, what are you doing with that child? Like, I don't know, trying to fucking raise her. Like, what do you want me to do? Like, it's my daughter.
We're fucking swinging, dude.
Yeah.
No shit. I never thought about that. What if a single dad took his daughter to the park? That'd be... Wait, it could go the exact opposite way. He could just pick up fucking hot-ass chicks.
I say I don't have a kid, but I think the best way to look at it is even if, like me, if you try to be as open as you can to a situation, if you were going to hire someone to, like, babysit your kids, you would probably feel comfortable having a woman babysit your kid versus, like, the same age male, right?
Yeah. I used to work at a daycare, and
It's super sexist. Yeah, like also, yeah, you work at a daycare. Like, I bet people were like, "What the fuck is this guy doing?"
no, everybody's like, "Wow, dude, Corey is so fucking hot.
This guy is
I really,
so cool."
I really hope he comes home with me." Like, there were like probably 6 moms that wanted me, which was very flattering. I was never single at the daycare, so ladies, keep your hands off. But yeah, I know what you mean. Do you think Jack Black was like that? Or do you think the School of Rock would have been different if it was a woman teacher?
Maybe. I don't know. Yeah. Like, you gotta figure, though, it's a guy that's not licensed to teach at all. And he snuck his way into a school and then just completely disregarded the curriculum.
So, yeah. He totally disregarded everything. He never really put him in danger, but... I mean, he was going to.
He did take him on a field trip.
Places, yeah.
You
to really shitty places.
I mean, if you think about a private school, which it looked like a pretty rich private school, an unknown man took your child to like a dive fucking bar. Questionable.
Yeah. Well, okay. So I have a proposal for a sequel to School of Rock. School of Rock 2, The One-Winged Dove. It's basically Stevie Nicks at her exact age right now, and she does a shot-for-shot remake of Jack Black's character with the same cast.
The same cast, and they're all playing like 11-year-old children.
Yeah. They still pretend they're the 11-year-old children, but they're like grown people, and then it's Stevie Nicks trying to be Jack Black. Freddie!
And Jack Black plays the principal, who was then seduced by
Stevie Nicks,
yeah.
which sings her own song, just like the wind do.
There's a song like singing, baby, oh, Shimona.
Oh shit, dude. Hey,
I like it. So that's a Hollywood.
Dude. Hit me up. What do you just like write the word Hollywood and put it in the mail?
I think, yeah, and it kind of just finds its way to one of those studios.
Hollywood Fishbowl. If you're out there, dude, write in.
Yeah, hit us up. I mean, you have Hollywood in your name.
Hey, he might have a fucking connection, dude. He might know some people. Hit me up, Hollywood Fishbowl.
Hollywood Fishbowl, if you're listening, I think you should back down on calling that girl's album dog shit. You didn't say dog shit. You didn't use the exact words dog shit, but
you said he should have backed down or not.
He should have backed down.
He should have
not have
should not have backed down.
Which it got me really thinking. I said we're talking about Elizabeth before, but how hard is it for when people tell you something that you've created is not great? Like, so my brother Sean, if you're listening, it's okay. But he told me, it's like, it sounded like he told me he kind of didn't like the podcast, which is okay. Yeah, so you don't have to like it. Not everyone has to like this.
Kinsey didn't like it either, but it grew on him.
Oh, Mackenzie! Oh my gosh, Mackenzie, you savage motherfucker!
Whoa! Fuck you, Sean. But what were you saying? Like, it's like scary to produce stuff, or
it's scary to tell someone that. I think.
Have you ever done it? Have you ever said anything like that to anybody where they're proud of something, they present it to you, and then you shoot them down?
I mean, I've tried to critique you on your comedy before, and I felt really bad about doing it because I've not done comedy. But from my listening, I thought there's like spots where you could have expanded on, or like you had. Well, you had good points, like good jokes, but you didn't stretch those jokes out and get the material out of it. And I felt really bad, like telling you that.
Was that my stand-up, or
it was stand-up?
Was that like pre-recorded stuff?
Stand up. Oh, I mean, you recorded it and
then
had me listen to it. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, dude. Stand-up's weird. Stand-up is weird, but I always appreciate when people are honest with me and how I can improve. Some people are kind of set in their ways. You know,
I know a guy, and his wife did like one of those like wine and paint things.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's like
paint and sip.
It's real popular to ladies, but like, you know, guys can do it too.
I take girls on first dates to that. So, ladies,
Oh,
if you want to pay and sit, baby.
Well, his wife did it, and she was really proud of her painting. And he was kind of like low key, I think, like, your painting is not good. Like, it's not worth hanging up on the wall. It's not that good. But she was like super stoked about it. She's like, this painting fucking rocks. Like, I mean, this is like basically like a Jackson Pollock painting.
Oh, dude. Okay,
like,
when it comes to
you're married, you put your dick in that person. Like,
Oh my
it's got to
God.
be difficult to be like, hey, this is not good. I'm sorry.
Dude, you fucking put your dick on her forehead. Is that what lovers do? Just lay their dick.
That's
on
what love
their
is
forehead.
when you tell a person their shitty painting is good enough to put on the wall.
I cannot imagine telling my significant other that they fucking suck at something.
It's got to be so difficult.
Dude, I've dated. Okay, I'm gonna touch on this lightly because I'm a good man, I'm a sexy man, but I will say, in the future, if any girl that is dating me, married to me, having sexual intercourse to somebody I know, and then comes home to me, do not do a pyramid scheme. You know what? No pyramid schemes in my home. How about that? New rule. And I want you to refer to this episode right here. If you're
have you experienced a
if
pyramid
your
scheme
company,
recently?
if the name of your company is assuring me that your product works,
It's
guess
totally
what, buddy?
awesome.
It doesn't work.
Have you dated someone recently that did one of those sorts?
Let's just say every woman I know wants to sell stuff. And, okay, one of the most offensive critiques I've gotten for this podcast, I will say, one of our friends said that we are getting to It Works level of advertisement. And I said...
We have zero advertisement.
I told him, I'm like, well, I mean, we add a little bit. Not like... I think the most I've spent on ads is like $12 maybe. Or
you mean like the Facebook shit?
No, I think he means like just how often I'm asking people to listen and shit like that. But my argument was, yeah, we have a fucking product to sell. Like it's a fun product that we believe in. It works. It's a fucking scam.
Hey, low key, who was that? I'll slip a goat in here.
It was.
Oh my god.
You motherfucking
You
cocksucker.
fucking son of a bitch.
You piece of shit.
God damn you.
He looked me right in my eyes, dude. He's like, dude, you're an It Works. I thought so hard about it, dude. I talked to him about it 20 minutes later. I'm like, what do you want to hear? You really think that? About me?
Man. Cut me deep, bro. Cut me deep.
You done fucked me up, bro. You got me all fucked up. What's something that I know you and Caitlin are kind of into it. You're kind of serious, you know. But what is something that you would not enjoy in, like, that you see in your friends' women that you would not approve of? Because here, you and I both enjoy the opposite sex. If you enjoy the same sex, that's fine. Just pretend we're talking about that.
Would I not enjoy that people's wives?
Like, what if you were in the dating game? What is something that drives you crazy about, like, I don't know, the opposite sex? For me, it's 2018. Quit cam girling. Like, if you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend, and
who are you coming across that as camming?
Oh, I don't mean cam girling. I mean, I do have like 2 people.
Oh, you mean like,
and I will find you.
Kind of like
and
just
I will kill you.
Borderline cam girling on like Snapchat or something.
Well, I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna kill you. But no, dude. Like, okay, there's this girl we went to high school with, and you wouldn't know her, but her name is Samantha, and I swear to God, dude, every day she just posting like, U.S. Daily fucking Cosmo style pictures. She looks amazing, and it's just a personal run Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's whoring for
What are you-
attention. I
What
really
are you
dislike.
doing? When do you fart?
Also, dude, say if Caitlin started watching just like bullshit, stupid reality TV show all day,
Like the
every
Jersey
day.
Shore.
Yeah, like that,
Kim
or say like
Kardashian.
Real Housewives, whatever town they're in, or
Real
it's like
Housewives,
or yeah, like
Portland.
whatever. Keeping Up with the Kardashians, I would really question like relationship at that point. I'm like, what is going on? And
More like Keeping Up with the Fart Dashings, am I right?
here's the thing, not to shit on all those shows, but there's a lot better stuff you could watch that you could, instead of, I don't know, I don't want to sound like pretentious or whatever, but there's better stuff to watch than that. Try it out.
What do you mean? Better stuff to watch than the reality stuff?
Yeah, there's just,
Dude.
I mean, I can understand some of it is interesting, but if you're watching something just for drama,
unacceptable.
no, you shouldn't watch that. Like, and now there's a lot of reality, and also even like something like the shit on like Discovery Channel now. At least it's like interesting and has content, but so much of that is manufactured, and it's not worth. Watch something better, dude. We're in the golden age of television, dude.
Shit,
just watch it.
You're kind of appealing to me right now, man.
Just watch it.
I like the way you worded that, motherfucker. What do you think people should watch instead of the Kardashians? Because I'm waiting to hear.
All right, I'm gonna send you a list of shit I sent my sister like last week.
Okay.
This is all. Every single one of these shows is on Netflix.
Your sister and I did ride the bus together, by the way. So all those 6 years that you told me we did not, I asked her at your wedding, and she said yes. So fuck you.
Oh, I was not aware. Mindhunter, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul,
Mindhunter. Yes.
BoJack Horseman, Arrested
Kinda.
Development,
Yes.
Making a Murderer,
Yeah.
Glow. Caitlin told me 13 Reasons Why.
No.
I haven't watched it.
Nope.
Black
Don't
Mirror.
watch that. Yeah.
Ozark,
Yes.
Parks and Recreation,
Uh-huh.
Narcos. Didn't watch it, but I heard it's
Saw the
fantastic.
first season. Very good.
Santa Clarita Diet. That's a Corey Server
the
special.
best show. The best show.
House of Cards.
Oh, I gotta check it out.
Yeah, those are all Netflix shows that are really, really
Amazing.
good.
Yeah. So you need to watch Santa Clarita Diet. I don't think these people need to see 13 Reasons Why. I'm sorry, Caitlin.
I haven't watched it. It's not a show for me, but it might be a show for a person that's kind of like us, but not quite us.
Oh, you mean Mexicans?
Hate us because they ain't us.
They hate us because they hate us. So, I've been slowing down on Fortnite a little bit. I've been sleeping on it, and it just got way sexier. But we'll talk about that another time. I want to say I have actually sat down and watched a few movies this week, and I would like to talk about them real quick. They're already on. They're already on the gram. So.
Oh yeah, you posted a few things. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you enjoy like horror, thriller, kind of weird shit, and if you may have seen 6 Feet Under on HBO, a fucking awesome movie is called I Am Not a Serial Killer. Christopher Lloyd is one of the main actors, and he's old. He's still killing.
So that's HBO?
No, 6 Feet Under was HBO. So it kind of was in the same vein as 6 Feet Under with the morbidity of it. I don't know if that's a phrase, but with how morbid it was. And then just like super twisty thriller, super fun. So check that out. I Am Not a Serial Killer. The next one is Revenge. It's a movie about this chick, and she goes with this guy on vacation, and his two buddies show up. And then it just ape shit breaks out. It gets fucking crazy, and it's super fun. Don't look into either of these movies. Just go rent them. One's on Redbox, one's on Google Play. I fucking love both of them.
I've got a couple Netflix shows. Oh god.
Bring it on, baby.
Fuck, what is it? Ex Machina is on Netflix again.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, Ex Machina definitely.
That's a Rogan approved movie.
Yeah, Rogan approved. It's good. It is. I say the trailer of it is a guy creates a robot, and he invites an employee of his because he owns like a whole.
Like
he owns like a big company. He invites one of his employees to do the Turing test, which is the Turing test, from what I understand it, like in real life, is you talk to basically like an AOL chat bot. Remember SmartBot or CleverBot, I think is what it was. You talk to CleverBot, and if you talk to a certain amount of CleverBots and you can't tell which ones are human and which ones aren't, basically, it's like a 40-60% chance is what you're going for. Then the Turing test is passed, which is this is one of the things that it is advancing us towards, Judgment Day with computing. So there's that, and then also I want to recommend Tusk. On Netflix. Tusk is on Netflix now.
Dude, somebody just talked to me about that. Fuck, somebody just talked to me. Our buddy Mikey
told me about it like when it came out in theaters. Yeah, and that's the reason.
You hit that last.
I got to throw a goat in there. Oh my god, Jesus. Throw the goat. Bring that goat out here.
I can't make it.
Hold on, it's in the backyard. I gotta pick it up.
Okay. So another thing that we do here at Six Pack of the Movie, we have to buy a goat every time we accidentally say a last name. So
yeah, I don't know if you knew this, but every goat is only worth about one good bah. So yeah, it gets pretty expensive. We're actually losing a shit ton of money. We're losing it. This podcast is bleeding us dry.
I do want to plug our Patreon right now. I'm kind of excited to get our Patreon up and running because you could just like join our crew, dude. We're gonna have some cool stuff. Like if you give us $1 a month, you're just in our brotherhood. You're keeping the lights on. But if you're giving us like $5, dude, maybe you could punch me in the balls. You know, maybe you could fucking pet my dog, dude. I don't know yet, but keep your eyes peeled. Patreon coming at you 2018, motherfuckers.
Yeah, we're set up a Patreon. We don't want to sound like pieces of shit. Like, hey, give us all your money. But oddly enough, YouTube is free, which I thought was really weird. Like, you can upload 4K video to YouTube, and they're like, yeah, go ahead, fucking do it. But
what do you mean it's free?
I mean, you can
everything's free.
But except this podcast, uploading this podcast to be available on like iTunes, Google Play, Spotify.
Oh yeah,
all that. That is not free. Oddly enough, you would think it'd be the opposite.
Right.
But, yeah.
I wonder. Well, I guess we have the metrics of like where our podcast is downloaded the most. Definitely not YouTube. Let us know if you guys would like to see our faces.
My podcast is or the audio just fucked up for a second, but I think I'm good.
Are you still in the saddle?
Yeah, I'm still good, yeah.
Cool. All right, buddy. I think I've gotten to everything. I do want to talk real quick about that airline guy, the guy that fucking stole that airplane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit. It's little current events. Beep 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 beep. Hot off the press. Beep
beep. This press is hot. Wait for the breakdown. I really enjoyed this guy, the guy that stole that fucking plane, because he reminds me of like Hunter S. Thompson. It does suck that he died and he put other people's lives in danger and like wrecked like a fucking super expensive airplane.
Fuck the jet. I mean,
fuck the jet.
That's just money at the end. That's pocket change.
But this guy, dude, he went out like a pimp, man. I don't even know this guy, but I'm on his team. He got in the plane and they're like, we have no fucking idea how Kevin turned on that goddamn plane. So somehow he figured out how to turn on this goddamn badass jet that you have to go to college to figure out how to fly. and he was up in the air, and he's asking, he's like, "Do you guys know how to do flips in this thing?" He was a badass. He did admit before he killed himself, he's like, "Yeah, I have a screw loose," and I read that as I think he was a danger to others and himself, so he wanted to end it before it got bad. And
honestly, like that's how
I heard.
That's a dope way to end it, I guess. He was honestly like really respectful to other people.
He was nice, right?
Like, yeah, he was really into not causing any danger to others, and I'm not sure if he, did he cause any close calls that were really an asshole move, but I guess if you're gonna end it, that's probably like a pretty happy way to fucking throw it out, right?
Yeah, pretty cool way to go, dude. Fuck, I would do it. I'll do it right now.
Oh shit, do it right now, live. We got live from
we're here live. Dude, sometimes when I see people like have it, like it's a new thing I'm doing at work. I'm kind of fucking with people a little bit, but when people pay their bill, I'm like, "Do you guys want to donate $10 for the Harambe Resurrection Project?" And I make it sound super like for real. And sometimes they'll just like laugh, or sometimes they'll say no, thank you. But one guy said no before I even got to Harambe, and I looked at him. I'm like, "You just ruined the best joke of the day. Is this what you wanted?" He just said no. As I said, "Would you like to donate?" He just said no. I'm like, "You piece of fucking shit."
That's the guy that doesn't donate $1 to the Children's Eye Foundation when you get your license renewed.
Yeah, I always try to donate.
I always donate $1. I don't think I've ever not donated $1 because I'm already paying, $60 for my tags.
What is $1? You didn't grab the fucking 2 Kool-Aids that you wanted or something.
And then they tell me, and they're like, "Hey, would you like to donate $1 for blind kids?" And it's like, well, when you put me on the spot like that, of course I'm gonna donate to blind kids. I don't know. I'm not sure what they're gonna do with this $1, but fuck it, man. Take my $1. Which is why we want you to give $1 to the podcast.
That's right. Do you guys want little children to be able to see?
So we can get new microphones and we can help honestly, the kids that can't see, give them something worthwhile to listen to. Because there's nothing else worthwhile to listen to besides this show.
Do it for the deaf kids. Dude, you know how we were talking about my knee surgery?
Oh,
so, one of our listeners, Erin, what's up, Erin? I love you so much. You're a great lady. She took care of Lucas and I when we were fucking under the needle. Lucas had just gotten eye surgery and I had gotten my knee done. And I couldn't walk around, so I always laid on the couch and watched TV. And Lucas joined me, but we couldn't watch stuff that had visuals. So we only watched stand-up comedy.
Oh, that's fantastic. I like that.
For like 4 days straight, dude. It was awesome.
I like that.
We were it felt like we were snowed in, but we could have gotten away. We were just fucking destroyed.
Hey, can I talk about my so you had tumors? This is I'm not sure, I might have told you the story before, but
they're cancer free. Thank you guys for checking in on me.
So I had some testicular pain.
Okay, yeah, I feel you.
And
a light testicular.
And it got to a point where I was like, I should probably do something about this. And this is like when I got engaged, where I was like, I should probably like care about like my life now that I'm possibly getting married. So I this is like a year ago. So I go to the doctor. I tell the doctor, and my doctor is like probably like a 50s, maybe 60s-year-old woman. She kind of reminds me of Tammy 2 or Tammy 1. Tammy 1 from Parks and Recreation. I'm not sure what else. She's also she's currently in the show called Sharp Objects. I'm not sure what her name is. I think she has an Oscar.
Tammy 2.
For best
she got
actress.
an Oscar?
I think she has an Oscar for something. She might. I don't know. She'll probably get an Emmy for Sharp Objects. Good show. But she's there and she's like, well, I mean, I gotta feel them, so drop your trowel. I was like, underwear too? And she's like, yep, sorry. And I was like, ugh, here we go. So She's a
What'd you
doctor.
say?
She's a doctor though, so I dropped the boxers. She gets a feel, and like I feel bad like having her, go through this. But I shaved up, tried to clean up everything the best I could to give her something good to feel, And she's like feeling her. I was like, well, I don't feel anything abnormal, but I'm gonna send you to a ultrasound doctor. So sends me to an ultrasound doctor, and because she gets nothing out of it. She doesn't really know anything. So ultrasound doctor, here I go. Ultrasound doctor, she's like, all right, well, here's what's gonna happen. You're gonna strip down. You're gonna lay on this ultrasound table. Which I don't know, it's just a table, I guess. Lay table.
Did it say ultrasound on the side?
It said ultrasound. It was like italics and it had like waves, had like a wave effect on it. It was really cool looking. And she's like, well, you're gonna squeeze her legs together, and then you're gonna put this towel on your lap, and then you're gonna put your balls on top of this towel, and then you're gonna put another towel. And you're gonna tuck your dick up like when you get a boner and you try to tuck it up into your basketball shorts so no one sees it. So you're gonna do like an up tuck. So it's gonna be like towel, balls, dick. And I think there might be like a third towel even. Like it might be like basically like 3 towels like collectively like in layers. It was like a lasagna of dick.
It's like a Christopher Nolan film, dude. There's layers to it.
Oh my gosh, yeah. There's layers. Quentin Tarantino directed it, and like you have to go backwards.
There's
We're
blood
like,
everywhere.
Shit, we thought we were going ball dick towel. We're actually going towel dick, ball dick towel.
It's like the primer of fucking ultrasounds.
Oh, it's 2 stories meet at once. It's
okay.
So I'm getting it. Get this ultrasound, and the girl that told me like strip down, she comes in and she's doing it. And she's like, she's kind of getting in there a bit, and she's like, and this whole time I'm thinking, like, well, I have testicular cancer.
So it wasn't sexual for you. It was strictly work.
It was really, really. It might be the most incredibly awkward thing I've ever done in my life, and I think it was like 20 minutes, but it felt like probably 32 hours of just like her rubbing my balls. It's like most people. I thought about making the classic like baby joke. I'm like, oh hey, what is it? What's the sex? Is it a boy or a girl? But I was like, she's probably heard this 42 times.
I don't know if she's heard that. That'd be pretty funny.
So she's doing it. She's going through it, and then as she's going through, she had to tell me, she's like, hey, I need to rest my arm on your thigh to like be able to do this properly. So here's how we do it. And as she's doing it,
I have a boner now. So
well, as she's doing it, her arm is like pushing down onto my thigh. And as she's pushing down, my balls are slipping down in between my legs more and more and more. So it's like, it's making it more difficult for her to do her job as it progresses. So then, after like probably 20 minutes of the most exhausting 20 minutes of my life, the other woman comes in, and this is when I find out that she's not a full ultrasound doctor. She's like 3/4 of an ultrasound doctor, and this other woman is an ultrasound doctor, and she needs to do the whole process over again to like kind of like double check. So it's like after I've already gone through this exhausting 20 minutes of just like ball grinding with an ultrasound. I had to go through another third, and I have to get like a second opinion, and they're like whispering to each other, like what's going on here? Like, oh, well, if you look here, then if you go, and they're talking about different strategies on how to correctly like get the ultrasound on my nuts. Like, well, if you go like underneath, and you could really get out like
it was like a class.
Oh my god! Like a class. Oh my gosh! It was fucking horrible.
So Cody,
I leave.
Well, let me tell you right quick. I haven't really been super amazed by this story because that exact same thing, down to the college kid that came in the room and double checked your balls, already happened to me. This
your balls as well?
Yes, this exact same fucking story happened to me. I went to my fucking female doctor. I felt gross about showing her my dick. Not because it was sexual, but because I wasn't hard enough. She grabbed my dick. She's like, I don't feel anything. I want to send you to a fucking ultrasound doctor. So the only layer different than your story that mine has was one of the ultrasound doctors that came out to, one of the 300 women that came out to check out my balls was a daycare mom.
Oh, that you knew?
That I knew.
Oh!
She ultrasounded my balls. And I didn't think of a funny joke, Cody, but I sure as hell would have said the funny joke if I thought of one. All I remember, it was a very exhausting day. It was like a 4-hour process. And I remember when I got home, I was so excited to just eat dinner and go to bed. But then a storm came out of nowhere, took our power out, and I had to cook dinner in darkness. That's crazy, dude. You had the exact same thing. What was your ball thing?
Well, so it's funny too, because like when I ended it, I saw that the first girl like leave for lunch. I was kind of like, hey, like, how's it
lunch?
like on the DL? Like, what's it look like? And,
oh shit! Like,
because I was so nervous because they saw something on the ultrasound, and I was like, this is it. I'm fucking dying in the next year. I'm not gonna get married because I'm gonna be fucking dead.
What did they say it was?
I have several cysts in my nuts, but they're not cancerous. So.
Oh, dope, dude.
Yeah, I've got a lot. For some reason, like the base, like the base of my nuts, cyst, but
really,
supposedly not gonna kill me. So
that's fucking cool,
man. So it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna die. So there's that. Yeah.
I'm
pretty stoked. I'm pretty stoked.
My thing. I will say, okay, it does suck to have cysts on your nuts, but I'm super happy you're gonna live. My thing on my nuts turned into this big bubble of blood, and I went to the car dealership, and the bubble of blood
to get it checked out. Oh, interesting, bold choice.
Yeah,
I would think like all places. The car dealership.
Doctor, she works at the car dealership. Yeah. So I was going to a car dealership looking at cars, and the guy was like selling to me super hard, but I had this big pulsating, horrible, burning red pain in my ball sack, and I wanted to end the conversation between me and my car salesman. So now I have a Hyundai Elantra.
That's how most people have ended up with a Hyundai Elantra. It's through a similar situation. Their nuts were on boils.
Oh shit! Wow, dude, what a segue! How the fuck? How do we get here?
Jeremy spoken in class today. Hey, I want to say, Slade did text me back, and he said School of Rock, though, but not to be confused with the also Turner Classic Film School of Cock.
Oh,
so, just want to make sure there was no like confusion sort of going on there.
He wanted to make sure everything was kosher. School of Cock is a fucking great American classic.
Yeah. Hey, we have not mentioned at all, and so I almost thought about turning this into a mini episode. But Edge of Tomorrow.
We're doing this, dude. Welcome back.
Welcome to the jungle. Welcome to the space bug Groundhog Day jungle.
Welcome to the ink, the Alive Magnetic Ink with Tom Cruise and Emily Blunt. This movie's fucking sick.
Dude, this movie's dope as shit. And I want to start out with why I watched this movie.
Please do.
And I wrote this movie off as being like a stupid, cheesy action film. And I don't know if other people did as well, but I like this movie, I was like, that's stupid. I'm not going to watch it. And then I listened to Tom Cruise on Chris Hardwick's podcast, The Nerdist, and he fucking sold me on it. And this is like one of the few times where I just like hook, line, and sinker bought the advertising for it. Where it's just him like talking about like it was like a fun movie. I think you're really gonna enjoy it. It's like it's got time travel, it's got aliens. It has like a decent amount of comedy in it too, so it's not just a super serious film the whole way. Yeah, the jokes
like
in this movie, they fucking nailed the jokes in this movie. They crush it.
Yeah.
And
which ones?
All of them, dude. It was all just well done. There was never like a joke or where it felt like it missed so much that I was like, that's stupid. And then when I watched this movie, because of this podcast, I walked out of the theater. I was like, holy shit. Like, this movie really stuck with me. And it's only happened to me a few times where I was like, damn. And also one of them was Interstellar, where I walked out of Interstellar and I was like, this movie like just rocked me to my core. And maybe I'm giving this too much praise. I don't know. But
no, I don't think so, dude. I think you're right. When I left the Interstellar movie, I remember thinking to myself, like, dude, I'm gonna remember this moment for a long time. And that's kind of how I felt when I left Edge of Tomorrow, dude. It was so undersold.
Or Live Die Repeat. I don't fucking know. They changed the name. I don't remember which one was first.
Edge of Tomorrow was first. It is currently
Edge of Tomorrow was first. It is
Edge of Tomorrow was first.
Well, actually, look up on the Blu-ray cover. It has both names.
It has
a line in the fucking center.
Dash.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just crazy. That's never happened to me before. I've never seen a post-theater release.
Yeah. When they release the second movie, they should have both names again. Just like opposite order. Like,
well, Die, Live, Repeat?
It should be Live, Die, Repeat, and then / Edge of Tomorrow. So,
it should be fucking Live, Die, Repeat again.
Yeah, they had a real hard time advertising this movie and marketing it, and that's why we've ended up with 2 titles, which, I don't know another movie.
So my biggest problem with how this movie didn't get enough eyes on it. First off, you got to think of a film this way. When you get Tom Cruise signed onto a movie, you can up your budget exponentially. The
He
budget
sells
on
seats.
this, dude, he sells fucking seats. When he's on your movie, you could comfortably add $1 million to any movie. Easy, you know? If he's taking the role, he's going to make it, he's going to want it to be sexy. And if the fucking producers don't say yes, I imagine Tom Cruise will front from his fucking $700 million pile he has.
Tom Cruise really cares about like his work, which is one of the
he
things
does,
I really
which is so cool.
He tries really hard. He gives a shit. He's the opposite of
his movies. He's the opposite
Bruce
of
Willis.
Robert De Niro. Fuck you, Robert De Niro.
Yeah, I'd say Bruce Willis, but Robert De Niro's kind of old. But
I don't care.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
He gives a shit.
Crazy?
He tries.
Yeah.
He tries real hard.
When was the last time you saw even that Mummy movie with Tom Cruise? I feel like he genuinely tried to make that a decent movie.
I mean, people are fucking raving about this new Mission Impossible. I haven't seen yet.
It's got a 98%.
What the fuck? That is insane.
Let me make sure. Let me quote my work here. But they said it's the highest rated of the entire series and one of the highest rated action movies of all time.
I mean, what else has, like, John Wick, also really good, and Mad Max. How crazy. Mad Max, Fury Road, and John Wick both came out within the last 5 years, and both those movies might be some of the best action flicks.
Mission Impossible has a 97%.
Wow. That's crazy.
97%, and it has Henry Cavill in it. Love Henry Cavill.
Superman, dude. World of Warcraft player.
Fuck yeah. Yeah. You told us about that. What was that again, Coda?
I think the story is that he was raiding, and he got the phone call from Zack Snyder. He's like, "Hey, you got the role," and he's like, "Oh shit!" Like he was like mid-raid, which raiding is like kind of like a big deal. Like it depends on where you're at, but you don't really take breaks just for nothing. He's like, "Oh, I just got the role of Superman and Man of Steel." So
you know what? If I got that call while I was in the middle of the raid, I would have called all my friends like, "Hey, fuck your stupid fairy tale games. I'm Superman now in real life."
I'm Superman. Yeah.
I would have like, if I had the strongest World of Warcraft account in my friend group, I would have recorded myself deleting the account and then said, "Fuck you, I'm Superman." Isn't it crazy? Like how they fucked up Superman is amazing to me.
I like Man of Steel actually, and Batman vs Superman I didn't incredibly hate.
Okay, I didn't. Okay, Man of Steel was okay. I
liked
say
it.
that.
It's not good, but it wasn't bad.
The fucking movies there and the action was amazing.
Michael Shannon. He's good.
Of course, Michael Shannon's good. You guys should watch fucking Midnight or what?
Watch a cheerleader video.
Midnight Special. Midnight Special with Michael Shannon.
Scratch that. Watch this instead because it's shorter. Michael Shannon on Funny or Die website, funnyordie.com, does a dramatic reading of a sorority letter. This is like a real sorority letter that got sent out to all the members, and he does this dramatic reading of it. Oh my god, it's pretty hilarious.
He's like always a villain, right? Always.
He can't not be a villain.
Even when he's playing the good guy, he's still like...
Even in the movie Groundhog Day, he kind of plays a slight villain.
Michael Shannon was in Groundhog Day?
He's in Groundhog Day.
Fuck you.
He him and his girlfriend get WrestleMania tickets.
Oh, you're right.
That's
you are
Michael
right.
Shannon.
Holy shit. Damn,
Goddamn
dude.
right, I'm right.
Michael Shannon, y'all sleeping on Michael Shannon just because he's not sexy. You need to see Midnight Special, Groundhog Day. You need to see 99 Homes. Trust me on 99 Homes. It's Andrew Garfield and Michael Shannon. And
Andrew Garfield. Interesting.
Andrew Garfield, Michael Shannon. It's about repossessing people's homes. It was really fucking good. 99 Homes. But he also did Premium Rush with Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That movie actually changed my life a little bit.
Is that the bicycle movie?
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I wrote that movie off.
In that movie. Oh, so good. I watch it all the time. You wrote it off?
Back to this movie. Yeah, the bicycle movie, I thought that looked stupid and never gave it a shot.
Wait, before we write that movie off, I want to... Premium Rush. I want to see what that got. That movie got a 74%. Certified fresh.
Shit, dog.
Shit up.
Maybe I should have watched it.
You should still watch it. It's amazing.
I can say, yeah, I do have the opportunity to watch this though.
Yeah.
But to get back to this movie, I want to talk about. So this movie is Groundhog Day meets Starship Troopers, like 100%. I feel like this had to have come up.
I wrote that down too.
Yeah, it's like there's no getting around it. But it's fun. It's really good. And so Tom Cruise is a advertising agent for the war. They sell this bodysuit, and he dies in this movie he kills like a 1 in like 90 million blue alien, which the aliens in this are kind of like robotic spiders. Maybe they're almost like T-1000s, which are the liquid Terminators, but they're not liquid. They're like a robotic liquid. They're liquid, but they're like a solid liquid. They're more
I think of them as ink, like a very like an ink that you would pull out with a feather kind of thing. You know,
I fucking I don't know, dude. I don't know.
They're cool. They're very cool.
They're cool aliens.
Amazing CGI.
But he kills this blue alien. The blood gets into his mouth. He basically gets like blue alien AIDS, and that lets him go back in time.
Yeah, blue alien AIDS.
And so, like, I mean, his job though, like, we start out like that's like the first 20 minutes probably. He sells the suits, and for some reason they're like, hey, we're gonna send our top guy, that advertising guy, to the battle. Which the whole idea is that the battle isn't. It's supposed to be like a wash, you know? They're supposed to crush it. It's not supposed to be a challenge at all. And they have this bitch. They call her the Full Metal Bitch, is why I call her that. Emily Blunt, John Krasinski's wife from The Office, actually.
Really?
Yeah, that's his wife. They call her the Angel Verdun.
What?
Yeah, this.
I didn't know they got married in The Office. I thought he married Payne.
No,
or whatever.
in real life, John Krasinski's wife.
Oh.
Is Emily Blunt.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
They call her the Angel Verdun, and she killed 100 mimics on her first day ever wearing one of these suits. So you kind of have this sort of false hope on how badass these suits are. But what you later find out in this movie is that she also had that power. So it's like you have some kind of crazy foreshadowing that goes on in this movie.
Yeah.
And like a lot of it is linked to this very first scene.
Kodak, I would actually say that you might be a little more attentive than most when it comes to shit like that. because I've seen this movie, I would say, by now 8 times, and I never pieced together her having the power is the reason why she's the angel of Verdun. So that's very, yeah. And I know several people that didn't notice that. That's fucking cool.
Well, I mean, it takes a watch through, at least one, to like realize what's going on. But yeah, so they have this Operation Downfall though, and like we're gonna attack the coast of France from England. You've got Mad Eye Moody. I'm not sure what his real name is. He plays sort of like our villain throughout the entire film.
He's from Weird Science. What's this guy's name? He just died.
I'm not. Wait, no, he's not dead.
Yeah, he is.
Mad Eye Moody? No. Bill Paxton is dead.
Oh, Bill Paxton. Who are you talking about?
Bill Paxton. I was talking about the red-haired guy in The Office.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Bill Paxton is dead, who also was in Twister. Who I believe. I don't remember in Weird Science.
Did you see Weird Science?
Yeah, I've seen Weird Science. It's been a while.
He's the brother with the loogies that got turned into the alien.
Oh, I was thinking Billion Heads, actually. I haven't seen Weird Science in fucking forever, actually.
Yeah, I love it.
Yeah, since I was like literally like a small child. He's an alien. Yeah. He's an alien.
He's a good guy.
He's in Aliens, I guess. Aliens with an S. Money sign S, as James Cameron would put it.
The S is silent.
So they send him to the war. We have this whole sequence where we have Wake Up Maggot, where Tom Cruise is on. He wakes up on these duffel bags, and this is important because this scene gets repeated probably
the most
30 times throughout the movie.
Yeah,
and that's what this movie did really good, is that they repeated things
just enough.
They repeated the movie
just enough, interesting
enough, but not in too much detail where it got stagnant, where it was just boring. They hit a really. That's why this movie I think sticks out to me. I'm like, I'm just being.
Same with Groundhog Day. They never got stagnant.
Yeah, they crushed it. So I mean, he's supposed to sell the war. They send him to the battlefield. They call him a traitor. We have this cool guy who's he was in the show Since 8, which I think no one watched.
I fucking hated that show.
Yeah, it wasn't great, but Wachowski brothers, or I guess sisters now because they're both women.
What, the Stranger Things guys?
No, that's the
the Matrix guys.
Matrix folks. They did Sense8. This guy's in it. He's actually one of the best characters, I think, side characters in the show. Right? He's like a funny like cool like dude.
Which
I liked
one
him.
is he?
He's like the equipment manager.
Oh, the one where Tom Cruise is like, "Get me 2 more grenades."
Yeah, he's like that guy.
Yeah,
he can't figure out how to turn a suit on. He's like, "Well, you got the safety on, so like I'm not going to worry about it." So.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I liked him.
So Tom Cruise died though. He gets a hole in his chest, and then he comes back to life, and he's back to.
This scene is important. I just want to stop here for a hot
He gets
second.
blue goo in his mouth,
and it looks really cool. Like
oh my god.
Because if you see this movie for the first time and you think that's him dying and you're not sure what you're walking into, it's a really cool fucking scene. His face melts away and shit.
Yeah, he basically has like a black skull almost for like if the scene went on for like 5 seconds longer, he had like a black skull. But because he got this blue AIDS blood in his mouth, he can go back in time. So he relives these days, and he's reliving this battle. Which I was kind of thinking about. And Ken and I were talking about this. Groundhog Day, reliving the same day in Groundhog Day in Puxatawny or fucking Pennsylvania or where? Puxatawny. That's where Puxatawny Phil is from, yeah. Not that bad, right? Like, it would obviously be incredibly mundane and boring after a while, but you still get to live like a normal day. Tom Cruise in this movie is like fighting for his like, and he has to die too. He can't just live. He has to die every fucking day through the most stressful. The psychological toll this movie would have taken on Tom Cruise. Oh my god.
Oh, did you happen to look up how long he was in this movie?
I feel like it has to be a decade. Fucking
you think so,
dude? Oh my, dude, the way.
Give me a sec. I want to look it up.
I say I don't know about it. But so I mean, Tom Cruise finds Emily Blunt, who also went through the same thing that he did, and she tells him to find him. And Tom Cruise is a advertising agent, basically. He has no combat experience, and it takes him a long time.
ROTC.
Yeah, he was in ROTC, and his advertising firm went broke. So he started selling the combat suits, and he started selling the war to the people. Which I'm not sure why you have to sell a war against aliens. And I'm not sure why he got sent to the battle. It seems kind of stupid. It might be one of the flaws in the movie. But
so back to what we were just talking about.
How long he's been?
How long he's been in there. In the book, All You Need Is Kill, which this movie is based off of, the main character went through 160 loops to get out. Still a very long fucking
160?
time.
In the movie, it seems much longer.
In the movie, it was much longer. It says right here, the movie and the books are different.
Okay, yeah. In Groundhog Day, people predict that he was in there for like 100 plus years because of him memorizing and knowing everyone in the village. The fact that he learned piano, master piano from scratch.
Cody, tell us about the Groundhog Day fan theory. The insurance one.
Oh, so in the movie Groundhog Day. So side spoiler for anyone not seen Groundhog Day.
Watch the fucking movie.
Watch Groundhog Day. So I mean,
sorry,
it's good. This might not. Honestly, this might not ruin it. But Groundhog Day, he doesn't. As the movie goes on, he knows everyone who he didn't know before, and he knows all their backstories. He knows everything about them. At the very beginning of Groundhog Day, he meets this guy who's trying to sell him insurance, who he does not remember ever. And that guy knows everything about him. So there's a theory that he is in a subset Groundhog Day as well. And his goal is to sell Phil, I think is Bill Murray's character. His goal is to sell Phil insurance. And he can't get out of his own loop until he sells the insurance. And the reason the theory exists is because Bill Murray becomes that character as the movie progresses, where these people do not have any clue who the fuck he is, and he knows everything about them. The same way this guy knows Bill Murray's character. Like, hey, I went to school with you. I knew your sister, like all that bullshit. And eventually Bill Murray on his last day buys every insurance package this guy's selling, which possibly might have gone him out of his loop. It honestly seems like something.
Do you think Bill Murray handed that to somebody else?
I mean, like, is like a torch you have to pass?
Well, because that's how the insurance guy did.
Maybe, I don't know. Yeah,
shit.
Could be.
What if it was the WrestleMania people? Oh shit!
That's why he went to another planet and became General Zod.
All right. Where were we with Edge of Tomorrow? So it was based on the book All You Need Is Kill. The main guy that wrote the book, the author, I guess humans call it, he said he wanted the book to feel like a video game. And after I heard that, I watched the movie with that same mindset. And if you haven't seen this movie, I suggest you do the same. Because it was like he was playing on hard mode. He didn't have checkpoints. He had.
It does feel like,
it
feels like a video game because
he keeps restarting.
It's like when you play a game and you get to a save point and you keep on getting your ass beat, and you have to learn the patterns of whatever scenario or boss you're fighting.
Whatever boss you're fighting, yeah.
You have to repeat that over and over. And so,
the same day.
So that's why I think it seems. So he masters a beach battle. Then he has to. The whole idea is at one point where the alien Overmind, the mimic Overmind, knows that the Omega knows that he has the reverse time power. like that he did not know he originally had, but obviously like because he's died like 1,000 times now. He
way more than 160.
The Omega is trying to find him, and when the Omega is close to knowing where he is or whatever, the Omega kind of reveals itself to where he is. So and he meets up with a guy from Game of Thrones actually. He's a dude that has he goes on kind of like a spy mission without ruining in Game of Thrones. He goes on like a spy mission within the Night's Watch. He is in this movie, and he's like, well, like you have to kill the Omega, because if you kill the Omega, then it's basically like a computer. It's like kill the CPU, the rest of your computer dies at that point.
His character was really fun too.
Yeah, he was a cool character, and I like the idea behind him where he was kind of ostracized within the military because of his.
And the thing is, to him, he only knew the main character, or Emily Blunt. He only knew her for one day, so
he's known Emily Blunt more than one day.
Well, you know what I mean, though. Like he didn't live through the mimic shit with her.
Mm-hmm. I think him and Emily Blunt have like a bit of a backstory. But when Tom Cruise is meeting him, he only knows him for like a couple hours, and then that's why this movie comes so weird too. I think where Emily Blunt, it's kind of hard to like gauge the relationship between those two, because Tom Cruise is going through the same thing in Groundhog Day, where he only knows Emily Blunt for a few hours every day, and then it's hard to say, and maybe it's like a director's
hard
choice.
To say where they were in their relationship.
Yeah, where shit be getting
that's what
weird.
It started to get weird, but what I really enjoyed about it was she was aware of how that relationship worked. So maybe she was in control of how it worked.
Maybe like as soon as he said those words to her on like what the fuck was going on, it would have to affect you in a way.
The middle name and the sugar packets.
Yeah, all that. So
yeah,
I thought there's some weird stuff where Tom Cruise was like, I want to give you the power back because she had it before. So what happened is she got a blood transfusion, and she lost the power of because they took out the alien blood within her. Tom Cruise well, like what if I like fuck you?
Transfer.
And she's like,
hey,
well,
that was funny. That was good.
It was a funny joke, but also like rewatching it, like she said, like I tried everything. Well, like there's kind of like nothing else to try, is there? Because
my question
there was no one else. No one else had
how
the power
did she
except
try?
her. Yeah. Well, she had a lover, and she said she watched him die 300 times.
Did she try to give it to him?
I don't know. I thought that was
oh shit, dude! Time travel is fucking an STD.
It was kind of a good joke, but I feel like it didn't quite fit the rest of the film. Yeah, because
but
at this point we're supposed to think
he didn't want it. He did not want the power.
Yeah, it's true. Or
he hated it.
Yeah. And maybe we can think too that maybe it was more than just these two that had this alien reboot power. Well, maybe they're the only ones that were able to contact each other. Yeah, I don't know what the sequel is gonna be. Maybe it's like it might be like. Also, if it was Emily Blunt's character, that would be really cool. Like watching her storyline progress.
Oh, her version throughout the movie, or a prequel.
Yeah, like a prequel, I think.
Yeah.
I think
we're talking time travel now.
Yeah, I think that'd be really fun.
That would be cool.
So then I was talking about like the visions. I think honestly he spent years and years because he's trying to get her to where he thinks is Germany, is where it is, on like a dam, and there's this whole like helicopter scene, and he's hanging out with her.
Oh,
and she's
were
shot.
They,
and she's like,
were they at the abandoned house?
They're like abandoned house. They left the battle. They made it off the battlefield. So he's gone through like a lot of days just to get her off the battlefield. I think like an absurd amount. And the idea is I have to get her to the Omega to be able to kill us and win this war.
Because it takes so much work to save a single person. And the movie showed us that when Tom Cruise kept pushing that fat guy out of the way. But by the end, he was just like... At one point,
he just quits.
Fuck it.
And you have to think, too, like, he's learning. everything and memorizing it like you would a video game.
Yeah.
But everyone else around him, it is their first day every single day. So, I mean, imagine playing through that video game your very first try every time. Like, imagine how shitty you do your first try against a game. That's how shitty it is. And just imagine you have Tom Cruise whispering in your ear and saying, like, hey, go left right now. And even if he tells you to go left, you're probably not going to go left fast enough. So.
Yeah. It was cool. It was a cool fucking concept. And it showed Tom Cruise. So, one of my favorite things about this film is at the beginning of the movie, they show Tom Cruise and he's like, "Oh, sir, I cannot see blood. I get sick of the drop. I was in JROTC. I haven't even seen a day of combat." He talks like that. Like, he's super scared. He was very against jumping in battle. But now that he's been in it X amount of days, he's a fucking badass, dude. He's
Yeah,
kind of
it's really funny, yeah, because like they see him at one point, and they're like, is that the recruit, the new recruit? And he's basically,
that was the final. That was like almost final battle.
He's basically Thor, just running around just murdering folks.
Yeah.
So
that was the guy we were talking about that said that too.
Bill Paxton.
No, somebody said that too, Bill Paxton. Isn't that the new guy? It was a Game of Thrones guy, I think.
Oh, yeah. There's two Game of Thrones cats. But yeah, the chubby dude was in Game of Thrones as well, and then so
really?
was the knight, or so was the guy that was like undercover sort of agent. Yeah.
The guy that delivered Tom Cruise like bombs and shit.
So I don't want to give away too much, but yeah, there's two characters from Game of Thrones that are in this show. One of them
Okay, I don't know. I don't watch Game of Thrones.
But so, at one point, Tom Cruise goes to the bar, which I thought was kind of like a pretty good scene.
He spent his whole day, all the way. He fought through a goddamn war just to go sit at that bar.
He snuck out, grabbed a motorcycle, and just went to a bar. And I think that was probably like I thought it was a good scene on how much he's been through and probably the psychological toll that he's gone through.
Did it show him just over past the war?
He got on a motorcycle and just went to like France, I think. Which there's a tunnel to France, so or no, I guess he went to a pub, I guess, in England. And they came over. The Simics or the Mimics came over from France to England, and he just hang out at a bar. And he's like, "Well, usually at this time I'm already dead." So, I think that was like a good scene to kind of see like what was going on. Like the shit he's gone through, like an absurd amount. Like nothing like I think a normal person could ever come back from. Like the psychological toll has to be enormous.
So
you have to die and die and die.
Oh yeah. Well, not only the thing of dying would be the problem. The thing of infinite hopelessness. Like you have to do it exactly this way every single time just to get to that decision that you approved of. So it just takes him so much fucking time to figure out what he wants to do, you know? But what I really enjoyed about this movie was the romantic comedy aspect of it. Him and Emily Blunt's character, throughout the entire movie, they had like this weird chemistry, but they were never like verbally dating. Finally, as like both of them progress enough as their characters, like they finally like, boom, date. What I really enjoyed where Emily Blunt is dying. And she says, "My middle name is whatever.
Rose.
Is it Rose?
Rose. That's a real middle name.
And if you see the movie, like me saying it to you right now doesn't mean too much. But if you've seen the movie, you know it's very important that she said that with her dying breath. And Tom Cruise knows that she's in love with him. He just can't push it through, you know?
And it's a weird thing, though, too, because like she only knows him for 24 hours-ish.
At a time.
But I guess you could say that for him to know her middle name, in like the future versions of Emily Blunt, she would have to really say like, oh, because she knows about the time travel thing. She could think like, oh, I obviously have trusted this person. It's kind of like that movie 51st Dates with
Yeah, where he makes the VHS.
Yeah, it's kind of like that.
That's exactly what it's like.
So I mean, there's this like whole helicopter
It's the same
scene.
movie.
It's the same movie. There's this whole there's a helicopter scene where he's like, I can't get you from this. You always die. He like shares some sugar packs. And then he goes to the Omega and he dies. He finds out that it was a lie, so then they have to go back to Whitehall, which is the original dude, Mad Eye Moody. They go to Mad Eye Moody. Mad Eye Moody says like, go ahead and like take this machine because they're trying to find the Omega. They have to get this like basically just a bunch of spikes to shove into his leg, and they've done the whole Mad Eye Moody thing another like several dozen times. So this is like Tom Cruise like adding on to. This is why I think he spent like at least a few years doing this whole like mission. It's insane.
Wait, reiterate on the Mad Eye Moody thing. What is that?
So Mad Eye Moody has the other guy from Game of Thrones that lives in the basement. He has his spike thing. He has his spike thing where he can shove it and to like sort of tap in to the Omega.
Oh, that guy. Okay.
That guy, yeah.
The scientist.
The scientist guy, yeah. And then Mad Eye Moody is the bad chief guy that sent him there in the first place.
Okay.
So they steal that. He shoves it into his leg. He realizes that the thing is under the Louvre in France. And then they get shot up. They get into an accident. Yeah.
Bathroom.
Translates to, that's what France stands for. No, the other Louvre, the one with the
pyramid.
There is the pyramid artwork. Yeah, the Leonardo da Vinci, the
Da Vinci,
Mona Lisa. Mona Lisa's there.
Da Vinkster.
Da Vinkster has his Mona Lisa there.
That Vinkster's got that girl there.
So. I thought it's crazy thing her willingness to kill him throughout this entire movie.
Oh, dude, I would like a super cut of how many times she shot him or tried to stab him. It was crazy,
and that's kind of one too. Like,
it just showed how familiar she is with the fucking ability.
Is there another timeline though? Like, what if there's another timeline created? And every timeline shows her just murdering this guy.
Murder. Yeah, I thought that too.
It's like you either branch off the timeline or it's actual like time travel where you actually reset the single timeline. So it depends on what direction you take time travel. But in one timeline, in one direction, yeah, she's just a fucking mass murderer.
And the thing is, if we do accept what you're talking about, which is crazy, I thought that too. If we accept that type of time universe, she's a monster. She's a goddamn monster. You know, she just kills every fucking scene. It's like like 160 lives. But I did like it showed her doing that because it really conveyed to the audience like, this woman has had this power. She knows how it works, and she just wants to end this fucking war. It showed how focused and driven she was.
I would say the one thing I disliked, I think that maybe the biggest flaw in the movie, like completely overall, is so they had to steal this thing from. Imagine basically stealing something from the White House, where like a guy gave you like a head start, and he shoves those spikes and he learns like what's going on. He should have killed himself like right there. That would have been good for the movie, but in a realistic sense with space aliens and time traveling, it would have made sense for him to put himself in a more safe situation.
Who?
It'd be like
Tom
hitting
Cruise?
Tom Cruise. Yeah, he basically hit pause and go back to the duffel bags where he's not going to get in trouble because he had the information and he carries information from timeline to timeline. Yeah. So it would have made more sense for him to just kill himself as soon as he learned where the thing was. because then he never had to fuck with that storyline again.
Wait, and that's probably why Emily Blunt's character was so important, because Tom Cruise would never bring it to himself to kill himself, so she always had to do it. That's crazy, man. She was like a guardian maybe, for him.
Yeah.
Like a fucking mentor.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess, maybe, Tom Cruise didn't kill himself. Yeah, so maybe that's why.
I know what you're trying to get at. I just find it really interesting that Tom Cruise had a mentor, but only because she in the past did the same thing, you know? Yeah. Like, they never experienced it together.
The montage scenes of this movie are really great, and Emily Blunt does a good job. Tom Cruise really crushes it, and you get the sense like you're watching the same scene 5 times, but you get they did a good job on giving the sense that he's actually been through this 20, 40, 60, 100 times possibly.
Yeah.
Which we talked about the movie Vantage Point, I think, and I think also 11/18.
Yes.
Vantage Point I think sucked. 11/18 not that bad. This movie really nails it out of the park.
Same with Groundhog Day, but I would say this movie
Groundhog Day,
I'd say this movie is the better Groundhog Day, to be honest.
This movie will be in the Library of Congress in 10 more years.
It has to be.
So
I will say Groundhog Day is a shit. Shout out Groundhog Day.
Yeah, shout out Groundhog Day if you're listening, Groundhog Day. Tom Cruise loses the power though. They escape. And then they're like, all right, we have to go to the Louvre for one last hurrah. Because this is where the Omega is. We gotta jump up here, kill this bitch. So, let's go. They make it there. They make it to the Louvre. Tom Cruise, everyone dies. Emily Blunt, Tom Cruise, last ones. Emily Blunt gets killed. Tom Cruise gets killed. But as he's dying and falling towards the Omega, which is in the water, he's like, I had an entire bag of grenades, which is like 5 grenades, 1 for each finger, because he holds his hand out. He's got a bunch of grenade rings. Kills the Omega. Omega explodes, which kills all the mimics, but then the Omega's blood goes into Tom Cruise, and Tom Cruise rewinds the day one more day. It's like a different day, because Tom Cruise was always dying at I'd say roughly 7 a.m., 8 a.m. maybe?
Yeah.
And then he dies in this timeline at probably 4 a.m., 3 a.m. So
yeah, dude.
I don't quite understand the ending of the movie.
You don't understand the ending of the movie?
And the fact that he time traveled again, it's sort of. I thought it didn't quite make perfect sense.
Okay, so the only reason he could time travel one more time is because while he was killing the Alpha, the Omega was already dead. So the Omega died behind him, blasted all that shit forward, and the Alpha died in front of him after the Omega was dead. So
I thought he got the Alpha blood or the Omega blood. He got the Alpha blood in him?
Yeah, he got the Alpha blood in him because the Omega is the thing that resets the day.
I thought he got the Omega's blood. But I was kind of... Honestly, even if he got the Alpha blood in his body again...
Yeah.
I kind of feel like he shouldn't be able to rewind it. And then if he did rewind it, should it all the fucking mimics... I mean, it's a time travel alien movie, so how much sense does it have to make? So.
Well, okay, so I made a small amount of sense to it. When the Omega is dead, the Omega can't control what's next, you know? So when the Alpha blood touched him and allowed him to restart the day, yeah, you might be right. Fuck. Okay.
Fuck. We'll see what the next one looks like.
Time travel. God damn it.
That's the movie, though. That is...
that's the fucking movie, man.
That's it. We tried to do this one shorter. I know we spent an hour bullshitting, but...
Hey, whatever. It's about an hour and a half shorter than we're used to, though.
Maybe this podcast is being too long, kids.
Yeah, what you do about it?
But hey, let's what do you think about the kind of shorter movie format? It's probably not as short as we were expecting, but maybe we can get it shorter. I'm trying to get away from the audiobook version before we get sued.
Fuck all that, dude. I ain't going back to jail. I don't think it's about the suing. I think what we just did today probably keeps people attention more than an audiobook kind of thing.
Yeah. Edge of Tomorrow, though. Hey, what'd you think overall?
Me?
Give your.
Me?
Yeah, you got a strong.
Okay.
Give me a strong opinion, strong review, short review over.
Yeah, I'm gonna give you a final thought. Edge of Tomorrow was a movie that unfortunately wasn't seen by enough people. I think I saw a few trailers and I didn't have anything to do that weekend. I went out and I was quietly surprised. I didn't hear about it much and I still don't. I think everybody that is not watching this movie, you need to watch it. It's got comedy, romance, fucking ink monsters, time travel, fucking mech suits. It's way better than any Matt Damon mech suit movie. I'm just saying, watch the goddamn movie. Fuck with your kid. 9.5, dude. 9.5 out of 10.
It's incredible. It's highly underrated, like you said. Don't skip it. This is like I say, one of the movies that's it's really easy watching. It was really under the radar. It deserves a lot more than what it got. This movie is fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. Watch the movie. Any parting words, Cody? Today, my boy.
We're doing a Patreon, like we said. If you don't want to donate to the Patreon, then don't do it. It's okay.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're just trying to break even and maybe upgrade our equipment with it. So, and if you can't, give us an iTunes review. That might help the podcast grow. So,
if you don't want to help, honestly, okay. So this is how I'm viewing the Patreon. If you guys are fucking with your boys, what's up, though? Just kind of an extra income where we're not fucking slaving away and focusing on something like that. It'd be cool to like see money that we could pour into this rather than everyday life. Like we will 100% make the podcast. It will directly influence it, and I'm excited to see that. So, yeah. If you guys are fucking with us, if you don't want to pledge money, just tell a friend. Fucking iTunes reviews are dope as shit. We're up right now, right? We got a lot of iTunes reviews.
We got a few, yeah. Ask your grandma for Christmas. Be like, hey, I'd rather have $12 and I want to give that to this podcast. And she'll be like, what's a podcast? I'm your grandma. I don't know what that is. And
beat the shit out of your grandma.
And then, I was asking,
you don't know what a podcast is.
Just don't explain it to her because she'll never understand. She's like, is that the radio? Is that the radio?
You damn kid.
We're on iTunes.
Actually,
we're on Spotify. We're on Google
I
Play.
do have something to tell you, Cody. We'll keep recording and then we'll get to all that shit at the end. A woman came into work today, or came to see me about her phone, and she was like, my Facebook isn't working. I keep scrolling down and nothing shows up. And I'm like, God damn it. It's a 90-year-old woman. Her Facebook's not working. Let's strap in. Let's do this. But, dude, her issue, I never figured it out. I never solved her issue.
To this day?
I spent an hour and a half on her fucking problem, and I never figured it out.
Wow.
So...
She's probably dead now, dude.
Janet from Delaware, I'm so sorry. I mean, your Facebook should work, and it's not, and I'm so sorry.
Does she have an iPhone or Google?
She had an iPhone, so I couldn't clear cache data. I tried to uninstall and reinstall. It didn't work, but here's the bizarre thing. I logged her into her fucking desktop, and it had the same problem.
Wow.
Yeah. I was like, I told her, I'm like, listen to me. This is, between you and me, Janet, this is 100% tomfoolery. I have no solution for you. She's like, well, fuck.
Dude, I'll tell you what. Like, fucking people hand me an iPhone, and I feel like the biggest idiot ever.
Yeah.
Whenever I hold on my hand, I'm like, what? I don't know the buttons. Because,
yeah.
All right. My phone has 3 buttons, and it functions goddamn pretty well. I don't know what iPhone buttons do. They think they still have a hard button, but it's like press and tap, and then after that, I don't fucking know. So
It gets
fuck,
weird.
Dude, I've tried using phones and like basically, if I push the wrong button on an iPhone product, I'm like, well, I guess this is broken. So,
yeah.
Take it away from me because I can't figure it out.
That's a weird thing. I will say, my time spent in cell phones, I have learned 100% every nook and cranny of Android, and 80% nook and crannies of iPhones because I don't carry one. But one company or two companies I will never ever understand: Windows. Why are you making fucking phones? What the fuck are you doing? They're not these past 2 years, but in my career, Windows keeps fucking pumping out a phone.
Wait, shit, are they still coming out with phones?
Dude, like 2 years ago, there was a Windows phone, and we sold it.
I thought they were done.
I hope they're done. I remember
the tiles are
I was
attractive,
talking. There was this gamer kid.
I don't know if they work.
This kid came in with his mom, and he was a gamer, and she was going to buy him his phone. And he's like, yeah, I want the Windows phone because it has Cortana on it. And I looked him in the eyes, and I was like, kid, I love Halo more than the next guy. But you listen to me. The second you take that Windows phone home, Cortana dies. And he still didn't listen to me, man. He bought the fucking phone and came back begging me to take it from him. I'm like, you should have listened to me, kid. You should have listened to me, kid.
I heard if you get a Windows phone and people rob you, they actually will give you a phone.
I heard if
like,
you have
hey,
a
like
Windows phone,
you have a Windows phone. Like, I'm sorry, take this. This is like an iPhone phone. That's better.
Dude, they could rob your whole house, and then the last thing they take is a Windows phone. So they're like, oh, we should probably put all this back. Huh?
Yeah, this poor guy. He's got a Windows phone.
You know the show Ghost Adventures. This is my last thought, and I'm clocking out.
Oh my god, can we end this bitch?
This is the very last one. Are you aware of the show Ghost Adventures?
Yes. A bunch of fake ass ghost fuckers.
So, Ghost Adventures is working on its 20th season.
What?
Probably. And they haven't found a single ghost.
How are they still a show?
How the fuck are they still a show? But I will tell you, my grandmother and her grandmother before her said if you have a Windows phone in your pocket in a haunted house, you're going to see a goddamn demon, baby. Windows, a family company.
Family for the devil.
I'm out.
Fuck what you heard. See ya.
On your feet, maggots!